lesson. And we are going to give you a few announcements before we take off. One is that when you don't have something to say, please lower your hands. Another communication is that make use of the chat room only when it is necessary. Do not keep flooding the chat room with a bit of fun. Let's be specific. We only write there when it is necessary. We hope we shall be able to do that. So as we begin today, we want to, first of all, thank God for giving us life and opportunity to be where we are now. And two, we also thank your parents for supporting you. Three, we thank you girls for being active and being part of this session. On that note, would like to request all of us who are in this class not to allow intruders be part of the lesson. We are saying this because sometimes there are people around you in your homes. They come around and they are part of this lesson. And before we realize, they are also talking. So please make sure you don't encourage them to be part of this lesson. We hope we shall be moving on well. After all, you've been very good girls all through. We thank you for that. So today, we are going to begin our day by winding up something that we didn't complete last time. When we're looking at where our ancestors originated from, we had a small idea to put across, and this was raised by one of us, that is a Crown Award for. She was asking about the origin of the Lugbara. Now, I would like to clear that dust before we move on for what we have for today. When it comes to the Lugbara community, there are two theories that explain their area of origin. One of them suggests that Ethiopia is their area of origin, and another theory suggests that they came from West Africa. So I would like to explain this theory, which states that the Lugbara came from West Africa. It is said that they came from West Africa into Sudan, the main Sudan. Then they moved southwards to what we call today South Sudan. And that it's from South Sudan that some of them went to Uganda and others went to Congo. So from that point, we note that there are some Lugbara in Congo, and the history tells us that to date, as we speak, they are settled in a place called Ombokolo. Then there are those Lugbaras in Uganda. So the Lugbaras in Uganda today form a big group of people called, they fall under a big group called the Sudanic Madi. And under this group of the Sudanic Madi, we are told people like the Lugbara, people like the Madi, like the Kakwa, that they fall under this big grouping called the Sudanic Madi. So we put that to rest, and I think our default is listening. We are in that line. Thank you very much. And now we move on to what we have to study today. Last time, for the past 2 weeks, we've been looking at the general information about migration and settlement in East Africa. And we looked at the introduction, that there's so many groups of people who are in East Africa. We mentioned the big 3 groups in East Africa as Bantu, Luo, and Ngoni. Then eventually we narrowed to Uganda. And when we looked at Uganda, we saw that the population in Uganda consisted of Bantu, Luo, and Hamites. And from there that we add the Sudanic Madi, who happened to crown up the Kakwa, Madi, and the Lugbara. So after doing that, we now move on and look at each of the big groupings. And the biggest grouping, the biggest ethnic grouping is Bantu. So for today, we are going to look at the Bantu migration into East Africa. The topic for today is going to be the Bantu migration and settlement into East Africa. Now, when we are studying the Bantu, we are supposed to know the definition of the Bantu. Who are the Bantu? I think class, we got that answer. In our discussion, we had it. So today we are going to ask two people to contribute, giving us the answer for the definition of the Bantu. You'll definitely have to put up your hand. When you're chosen, you give the answer. And if you've not been chosen, make sure that you also lower your hand so that we continue. So right now we are going to have two people to tell us something on what we understand by Bantu for our topic today. Then after looking at that, we shall see the reasons why the Bantu moved into East Africa. Can you please put up your hand if you have a contribution to the definition? Before I choose at random, can I have volunteers? Am I being heard?
Yes, we can hear you. Just speak on one person. The girls can't reply.
Okay.
Adeke Faith.
The term Bantu refers to a group of people who speak related languages with a common suffix "ntu" in their words, referring to a person.
Thank you very much. Girls, we hope you have such definitions. Another one person to define and we move on. Yes, we are choosing Namalwa Pamela.
Teacher, my definition is similar to the former speaker.
Okay, who has a different one? Narule? Narule? Narule Shugi?
Me, I was going to say the term Bantu refers to a group of people who speak the same language and originated from Cameroon Highlands.
Okay, now we need to say something about your answer. They don't speak the same language. They speak related. They are similar and related, but they are not the same. For example, the Baganda do not speak the same language with the Nyamwezi of Tanzania, but they are similar and related. So in your answer, there should not be same, there should be similar and related. Now, can we lower our hands, please? Let's lower our hands. Can all of us lower our hands as we move on? So now that we have the definitions, now that we have the definition of the Bantu, our next item is to look at the reasons why the Bantu came to East Africa. But before that, I should be able to explain that in the next segment after reasons, we shall look at the cause. And that's where we shall explain the origin of the Bantu in detail. Thank you very much. I now pass over to Teacher Sally.
Good afternoon,
Sally.
everyone. Do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good afternoon, girls. I welcome everyone to this session. And as Teacher Beatrice has said, I just don't want to waste time. Our topic is Bantu migration. And you've already gone through with her. You've looked at the definition of who the Bantu were. And right now, our next topic are the reasons. But before we look at the reasons, I have this question for us. Girls, have Any people migrated into your local area recently? A question to the girls. Have any people migrated into your local area recently? Suggest reasons for this. If yes, what are the reasons for those migrations into your area? Yes, Gladys. Gladys Nachi, good day.
I
What
think
do
they
you
moved,
have to say?
I think they moved to near our home area because they are looking for better job opportunities.
Correct. May I hear from Namagembe? Namagembe, why do you think?
Yeah, teacher, for me, that we have Sudanese in our environment, in our community. I think they came because of wars in their country.
That was very good. Thank you. Next person is Mirembe Emily. Mirembe Emily. Have any people migrated
Teacher,
into
I
your
think
local
they
area?
migrated. Yes, I think they migrated because it's near town and they wanted to get closer to social services.
Correct. Namayanje. Namayanja. Namayanja Maria, have people migrated into your area of recent? Edith Mugabe Michelle.
Yes, we also have Sudanese, and the reason why they came here is because, well, we have good climate here. It's sunny and rainy. Then also it could be because of job transfer. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Can we hear from Elizabeth? Let's hear from Elizabeth. Elizabeth Mildred. Elizabeth Mildred. We seem to have lost Mildred. Deborah. Walakira.
I think people move in order to get better health care.
My question, I repeat the question, have any people migrated into your local area recently? And suggest the reasons for their movement.
Yes.
Yes, which group of people migrated into your area?
Some Arabs are living in the neighboring apartments. I think
Arab.
maybe they, yes.
The Arabs. Could there be any other Arabs or foreigners? And remember, we are looking at the local people. We are looking at, it is history of East Africa. Could there be any, those are foreigners, could there be any other local group of people that migrated into your area apart from the Arabs? Kayesu. Kayesu? Akampulira, what do you have to say?
Oh, sorry, teacher, but my answer is already gone.
Oh, sorry. Can I hear from Lunkuse Cynthia? Lunkuse Cynthia?
Yes, we have new people because the place has enough land for crop growing.
Very good. Namutebi Maria. Namutebi Maria, have people moved in your local area of recent and why?
Yes.
Name the group of people that moved there.
Banyankor.
Why?
This is because our area has fertile soils for crop growing. Oh, my
Very
area.
good. Good. About Georgina. About Georgina. About Georgina, have people moved in your area of recent?
No, teacher.
No. No, you've not seen any. Okay. Atuhaire Esther. Atuhaire Esther. Have any people migrated into your local area recently?
Yes, teacher.
Give us reasons why.
I think it's because of before the lockdown, before the president put the lockdown, people are moving into my area because where they were saying there was no food, and these ends where they had put their garden, where they put their gardens, so they migrated these sites so they can get food.
Correct. Ario Ika. Ario.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes. Some Congolese migrated here, maybe because due to wars.
To wars.
In their
Correct.
country. Yes.
Ikiriza Angela. Ikiriza.
Oh, yes. Well, you need
Ikiriza.
There's some people that have migrated, for example. Yes. There's some people that have migrated into my community. For example, Eritreans and Somalis, and it's because of instability.
Because of instability. Okay. Let's hear from Ndagano Queen. Ndagano Queen. Ndagano. What do you have to say? Have people migrated into your local area recently?
Yes.
Who are those? Name them and give the reason.
They are local people. They were from Wakiso, and they say they migrated here because there was a lot of kidnapping in their area and theft.
That means there is a lot of insecurity, right?
Yes.
That insecurity that forced them to move to safer areas and Abanja. Naila Nantale. Naila Nantale. Nantale. Nantale seems not to be there. Nantale, tell us, why do people have to migrate? Why have the people migrated into your local area? I went off because of the network. Can we continue? I can see 4 hands up. Adeke Faye.
I'm there.
Yes? Adeke Faith?
Yes.
Hmm.
There were some
Well,
Iteso who migrated, like they settled here in town. It's because they're looking for job opportunities here.
job
That's why they moved.
opportunity. Correct. Finally, Ruth Musime. Ruth Musime, what do you have to say?
There are some who migrated because they lost their jobs and there was high cost of living in the urban areas.
Who are those some? Can you name them? What's the name given to the group?
They are all migrators, different groups of people with different tribes, like some are Lukbara, some are Alur.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Alema? Vivian, what do you have to say?
There are some Sudanese who migrated to our place, maybe because of war.
Because of war, that is insecurity, right?
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. Without wasting time, ladies, let's move on. Can we try to identify, this is our question now. Can we identify the common reasons why people migrate from place to place? Identify the common reasons why people migrate from place to place. I have Namataka Ruth. Namataka, give us one reason as to why people move from place to place. Chirabo Hope Eunice.
People move from place to place. Some people move from one place to another because they're looking for land for farming, for agriculture. Yes. For a
Namuli
place to,
Unia. Yes, yes. Namuli Unia. Namuli Unia, what is happening to you? Cynthia in France. Cynthia?
To look for better social services.
Can you try to be
Job
audible enough?
opportunities,
To look for?
To look for better job opportunities. Better job
Okay.
opportunities.
Correct. Another person, why do you think people have to move from place to place? Nalule Anna. Nalule.
Teacher, I think people move from place to place due to insecurity.
Insecurity, correct. Namagembe Margarine. Namagembe.
Yeah, me teacher, I think it's because they want to get fertile soils to improve on their farming.
Correct. Atukunda Vanessa. Why do people move from place to place? Atukunda Vanessa. We seem to have lost that one. Nambia Lauren. Nambia Lauren. Next person, Mulunji Jolly. Mulunji Jolly.
Teacher, I think people move from one place to another to get better medical services.
Correct. Chirabo Hope Eunice. Chirabo Hope Eunice.
I think people move from one place to another to look for places with security, peace. Yeah.
Security. Good. Sechirai. Sechirai.
Some people move from place to place to look for better climate.
Correct. Nachigude Gladys. Nachigude Gladys.
I think people move from place to place to find better settlement.
Good. Atwine, Stacy, Atwine.
I think people move from place to place to look for better social services.
Nabanja Faith. Nabanja Faith, why do people move from place to place? Namuli, you near? Namuli.
Teacher, yes. Some people migrate due to diseases. Now, like the Bantu, they migrated due to epidemic diseases such as sleeping sickness, bilharzia, and smallpox.
Let's move on. Next person, the last person, Akisa Abigail. Akisa Abigail. Akisa, you're not clear.
Some people move from place to place for adventure.
For adventure, correct. Thank you very much. Unless if there is any other reason that has not been mentioned, that's why people migrate from place to place. On that note, we move on. Can we lower all the hands, please? Thank you very much for your contribution as we move on. Now, our major topic today is the causes or the reasons for Bantu migration. The reasons or the causes for the Bantu migration. In a few minutes, why did the Bantu migrate from their cradle land? Why did the Bantu migrate from their cradle land? Lina Jiweji, number one. Lina?
They migrated to look for fertile soils.
Correct. Beata Sally. Sally Beata.
They migrated due to pandemics.
Pandemics, for example.
An outbreak of diseases in their cradle land.
Correct. Katsime Grace. Katsime Grace.
They migrated to look for better
Katsime
living.
Grace.
They migrated to look for better standards.
The question is, why did the Bantu migrate from their cradle land? For those of us that were not there, your point is correct. Lunkuse Cynthia, why do people migrate? Why did the Bantu migrate from their cradle land?
They migrated to escape wars in their cradle land.
The wars, correct. Adeke, Faith?
They migrated to look for, yes, they migrated to look for land for their excess population.
Correct. Kahuga Charity?
They migrated to look for fertile soils for crop growing.
Correct. Hello, Paulina? Hello.
They migrated because they're running away from epidemics.
Correct. Miro, doctor.
They
Miro,
migrated. They migrated because of love for adventure.
Love for adventure. Louise Kwagala. Louise Kwagala.
They were looking for reliable rainfall for crop growing.
Again, try to be audible. We can't hear you.
They were looking for reliable rainfall for crop growing.
Why did that? Well, correct. And Namagembe Majo. Namagembe Marjorie.
Yes, teacher. I was going to say they migrated because they wanted to get fertile soil. But it was already said, so I'm just going to put down my hand.
Wanted to get the fertile soil. Okay. And many reasons that explain as why the Bantu migrated or moved from their areas to mainly East Africa. And for now, is something that I want to share with you. I want to share the screen with you as you try to look at what you've just been sharing with us from.
Excuse me, teacher. Teacher.
Wherever that they came from, and even if they came and settled in East Africa. Yes. Actually, the questions, may I invite the few questions as I try to share the screen. Yes, please, can you talk to us? Are we able to see the screen? Bruno?
Yes.
Do we
No.
see what is on the screen?
No, only see a blue color. Okay, now we can see.
Girls, can we lower our hands, please? All of us lower the hands. Girls, lower your hands. All of you lower your hands.
What's that smell?
We are able to see the screen very well. So if we are able to see the screen very well, can I have someone to go through to read for us the summary of all the causes for the Bantu migration? Teacher Beatrice, could you please help us pick any of the students to read?
Yes, please. Can we get somebody in the names of
Okay. If
Nakato Patricia, sorry.
Yeah, to read for us the summary of the causes for the Bantu migration.
Nakato?
If Nakato is not ready, you could pick on some other.
Okay. Ndagano?
Overpopulation, search for fertile land, search for pasture and clean water, internal conflicts, external attacks, love for adventure, and peer pressure.
Let's move on.
Epidemic diseases, unsuitable geographical climate, famine and drought, desire to spread the knowledge of iron working.
Okay. Thank you very much for trying to share with us. Now, could we be having questions about these points? Could there be a point that you don't understand properly? That we try to discuss that point. Which point is not clear about the migration and settlement of the Bantu into East Africa? Teacher Beatrice, you help me, because I'm sharing, I can't pick them. You help me pick the names for me. Those ones whose hands are up.
Kwagala Lucy. Okay, let's have Mugabe Michelle. Mugabe Michelle.
I haven't understood peer pressure.
Peer pressure. That why did the Bantu migrate? They migrated because of peer pressure. Peer pressure is the same as peer influence. The bandwagon point that others, some of the Bantu are believed to have moved. Why? Because they were influenced by their peers, okay? Especially the youth. For example, like you're just influenced by that when you see your friend doing something, you also do it. Some of the Bantu migrated, why? Because the youth, they migrated, why? Because they saw their friends, their relatives migrating. So they were like, oh, who are we to remain behind? So they had to. Next point, next question, sorry. Any other point, Teacher Beat?
Yes, Nantale. Nantale has something to say. Nantale Gladys.
Yes. I just had a point.
Very good. Which point is that?
It was causes for migration.
Yes.
Not for the Bantu though.
Bring out the point.
Find refuge after being displaced due to environmental factors.
Environmental factors. Environmental or geographical. That's climatic conditions that were unfavorable, isn't it? I think your point goes along that line. They moved, why? Because of the poor climatic conditions in the areas. Any other person? Unless I think if there's no any other person, Teacher Beatrice, do we still have hands up there?
Yes, we have a CEO.
Teacher, on the
yes,
on the causes for Bantu migration, is this point correct? They were looking for good climate.
Good climatic conditions, right? It is correct. Yes. Now, just go through these. Go through these, the causes. Just look at that's population increase. Can someone just read out the population increase, and then we shall invite Teacher Beatrice to come and take on. Teacher Beatrice, someone to help us read that point.
Yes, let's get Sechirai.
Hello.
Sechirai.
Teacher Beatrice.
Sechirai Daniela.
Someone
Teacher
read
Beatrice.
for us the point here.
Yes, Teacher Beatrice. The bad thing, I cannot see that. I cannot see it. Now I can see it.
Can you read for us? Read for us what is you see on the. You can't
Population
see.
increase. Their numbers had greatly increased due to the great food production they used to cultivate their land and had a successful harvest. The continuous increase in the population led to overcrowding, easy spread of diseases, and was a problem as far as administration was concerned. Therefore, the Bantu decided to migrate in search of vast and vacant places where they could settle their surplus population.
Thank you. Yes, Teacher Sally. Teacher Sally, are you with us?
Okay, so I just wanted to bring in this as a note for someone to look at how. Thank you very much. Just look at these points as I sum up for Teacher Beatrice. Now that we've summarized, now that we have summarized in East Africa, I request that Teacher Beatrice takes on. Teacher Beatrice.
Hello.
Yes, I request that you take over from there.
Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Yes.
Girls, thank you. And can we ask everyone to lower their hands? All of the 14 people, lower your hands. Okay. Teacher has taken us through the reasons why the Bantu moved into East Africa. Now we would like to look at how they moved and where they settled. In history, the process of how people move and where they settle is called the course. It is spelled as C-O-U-R-S-E, the course. So we are looking at the movements and the settlement areas into East Africa. But before we do that, we are going to share something on the screen to show us exactly where the Bantu originated from. Remember when I was introducing today's topic, we said under the Bantu, we are supposed to look at the definition, also look at the reasons, and we must know the origin, but we said the origin will come later. So the origin is coming under the course of the Bantu migration and settlement into East Africa. So I'm going to share my screen shortly, a text for us to read on the Bantu origin. Thank you. Can we see it?
Yes.
Hello? Coast
Yes,
of the
I
Bantu.
can. You can see it.
Yes, yes, let's get one person to read for us. This is Namtevi Maria. Namtevi Maria. Okay, let's get Akampura Mercy. Akampura, read for us that text.
Cause of the Bantu migration. The Bantu migration happened in Africa, starting from southern West Africa and slowly spreading southwards to finally reach South Africa. The Bantu people from their origins in southern West Africa slowly moved through the central, eastern, and southern parts of Africa. And I can't see the rest of the words.
No, stop there, but you'll do something again. Now, the rest of us, class, pick our notebooks, not the class workbooks, but notebooks, and then note down. Can you please read again from that area where the Bantu from their origins in southwestern Africa slowly moved through? Tell us the areas where they moved through. And the rest of us not in our books. Hello?
They slowly moved through the central, eastern, and southern parts of Africa.
Can we write in our notebooks those areas? Write central, eastern, and southern parts of Africa. Okay. We should also have known the origin, and in this text, the origin is West Africa. Thank you. Let's share something again. We are again sharing something, and it has to do with a map. We want to locate where exactly the Bantu came from. Do we see something on the screen? Are we able to see, Teacher Sally?
Yes.
Can we see the map?
Yes,
okay.
Please.
Now, girls, let's look at this map and locate where.
A minute, Teacher Beatrice.
Yes.
Yes. We still have the wordings of the course. Okay, the map has finally come. Thank you. It's okay. You can continue. It's now there.
Okay. So, girls, I told you that in the previous text, you are supposed to have written in your notebooks the origin of the Bantu, and that is West Africa. I also expect you to have written in your notebooks that they spread in the central, eastern, and southern Africa. So when we look at the map, we shall be able to see where they began from. And we are now going to get again a contribution from one of us to tell us the country exactly where the Bantu came from in West Africa from the map. Okay, Aine Mateka. Okay, Aine Babas. Aine Babas, tell us.
I request that I do the calling as you concentrate on the explanation.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
So let's get which country? Hello. Let's move on. Somebody should name the country of origin using the map, because we've said West Africa, but exactly in which country? Go on. What do we see on the map?
Akampulira Masi. They are not, the hands are up, but they are not responding. Let's look at the map,
girls.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello? It is Nigeria.
Correct.
Read clearly.
Hello?
Read clearly. It is what? Can you see it?
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Yes, girls, all of us look at where Nigeria is. And then there is a neighbor to Nigeria in the east. In the east of Nigeria, there's a country, the arrow has covered the writing, but that country in the east of Nigeria is called Cameroon, okay? So we now move, we write in our notebooks, we write Nigeria, we also write Cameroon. Then we move on, and using the same map, we should be able to trace the dotted line. The dotted arrow, thank you. The dotted arrow from Nigeria crossing Central Africa to East Africa. Can one person tell us which country is the arrow pointing to? Teacher Sally, ask one person to tell us the arrow which is dotted.
The dotted arrow.
Hello?
Akisa Abigail. Akisa Abigail.
Uganda.
Thank you very much. So the dotted arrow is showing that the Bantu moved and came to Uganda from West Africa. Another area to look at is, we go back to Nigeria and look at the big broad arrow. Do we see the broad arrow? Leave alone the dotted one. Do we see it? Yes, you should be able to see that. There's a broad arrow, the very first one. Then the second broad arrow is showing a name of a country beginning with letter Z. Can somebody read for us that country beginning with letter Z?
Namutebi Maria. Chirabo Pal, Hannah.
Zaire. Thank you very much. Please, all of us write Zaire in our notebooks. Are we there? Then after the second broad arrow, we see one arrow going to a country in East Africa. Can you name that country where one of the arrows has gone into East Africa? The upper one, which is near Lake Victoria.
Charity Shalom.
Can we name it?
Charity Shalom.
Kenya. Kenya, let's write in our notebooks, Kenya. Then there is another arrow, which is below, but in East Africa. In which countries? Can we name the country in East Africa where we see the Bantu arrow?
Ajuna. Ajuna, name for us. Ajuna.
There's the first arrow which goes to Kenya. Then there is a lower one in one of the East African countries.
So I can't see it properly.
Sure.
Okay, Atwin Stacy.
Tanzania.
Thank you very much. Girls, write in your notebooks, Tanzania. Next, look at the big arrow where it ends, and then there is a long arrow going downwards, south. Can we follow that longest arrow? Are we there? And one person to tell us the country where the arrow points to. Our time is running out. Can we do that quickly?
Atwine.
South Africa.
South Africa. Write in our notebooks, South Africa. So what we have done today is that we've known that the Bantu came from West Africa, particularly in an area called, in a country called Nigeria. And that's why historians say around Nigeria and the Cameroon highlands. And then we've also seen how they've moved into the areas of East Africa, and some went to South Africa. Our time is running off, but when we come back next time, we shall pick up from here. However, we would like to ask the questions now. Can we name the country? Can we name the country where the Bantu moved through in Central Africa? There's a big country there which begins with the letter Z. We want to name it.
Kalibala Hana.
Letter Z.
Can Nabisenke name the country?
Okay, if people are still contemplating, I want to explain this. The Bantu from West Africa, around Nigeria and Cameroon, moved eastwards. Some crossed the central part of Africa, and around the country called Zaire, which current name is Democratic Republic of Congo. They settled there for some time. And then after some time, they moved away and dispersed to other areas. Some went to East Africa, like we saw some to Kenya, others to Tanzania, and others moved into the South. So when you read some books, you find that the Bantu could have come from Congo, but we shall clear this in our next lesson. So we wind up by saying, thank you very much for attending. Our time is up, but I want to communicate this. Next time, when you come to attend this lesson, we are requesting you to be on time, because we keep admitting people, even when it is 1 minute to the end of the lesson, you see people coming in. Please request our parents to plan for us so that we come before the lessons go very far. Thank you very much. We shall pick from here. God bless us all.
Thank you very much.